Christmas is definitely going to look very different across this entire country, probably across the globe for those who are celebrating. The question is, what are you going to be doing in your household? So different provinces have different suggestions, rules, hopes for what you're going to do with your family. For example, in Manitoba and Ontario, the provincial governments there are saying, hey, we hope you just stay home with your own family, your own household, unless, of course, someone lives alone, in which case that person can then hook up with another family. In Quebec, however, they are limiting indoor gatherings for the holidays to 10 people. And the premier there is saying, we hope that you adhere to a moral contract and isolate before and after. What are we to make of this patchwork for the holidays ahead?
I mean, I don't know what to make of this. I think that for once, I'm actually looking at Quebec and I'm like, wow, they might be doing something right when it comes to this pandemic. And here's why. I mean, I think obviously canceling Christmas would probably be like the easiest thing for us to do. But we know on Christmas Day, everyone's going to go ghost on social media. Why? Because they're probably breaking the rules, bending the rules a little bit so they can be around family. So if we move and assume that that is what is going to happen, the best case for us to do is just to kind of extend the breaks after, so a lot of people can self-isolate and isolate before they head back into the workforce or school or what have you. Listen, we can't self-police. I think we can all admit that at this time, but I think for the holidays, especially, a lot of people are going to find it hard to stay within their homes.
It's a mess, I gotta say. Yesterday, there was a scathing report that came out by the Ontario Auditor General that basically showed that Ontario's top doctor did not lead the province, and that there were delays and conflicts and confusion that has directly impacted our COVID response. The pandemic response in Alberta is no better. It's been described as being in tatters. Manitoba's a mess, and those are just a few provinces. And so I guess it's just is it any wonder that there's been an erosion of confidence in these leaders and that public cynicism has crept in? We are looking at these immense contradictions on a daily basis. You can't hang out with members of outside of your own household. Oh, except when you can, for example, in schools. You can't shop in small businesses. You can't shop at all, except for when you can with big box stores.
Right.
So I'm sorry. It's no surprise that people are starting to ignore public health and ignore leaders. You've lost the trust of the people. Figure out a way to get it back.
We have a comment on Facebook from Victoria. She says, my province says stay with your household. My mother lives alone, though, so there is an exception for us to visit her. I think we won't stay the night or risk extra time. I don't know. It is hard to follow the rules when they're arbitrary and constantly changing. Victoria, I'm in the exact same situation with my mom. She lives alone, so I guess Simon and I can go visit with her. But, like, shouldn't I be putting my brother and his family first because my nephew's just a little kid? So I feel like that makes more sense than me spending time. And then as to do with Quebec and that 10-person Christmas gathering, the premier actually said you have to remember that the family is at the heart of who we are. It's at the heart of our nation. But apparently only if you're Christian, because the same allowances weren't made for Hanukkah. I do predict that Instagram this year, this Christmas, is going to be very quiet or really, really edited, because a lot of people are going to be broadly interpreting these new guidelines, especially if you're not in a hot zone. Can you imagine if you lived in a small town with 0 cases and you're being told that you can't spend Christmas with a family household that you've been spending your entire summer with? You're going to get creative, and you're going to do it responsibly and safely, of course.
You have to be creative.
Jess.
You do have to be creative, and like some realities allow you to be more creative than others. Like, yes, you can edit out your Instagram post and you can not go see your parents, but if they live in a house and who's going to see you, and, you know, maybe you can, I don't know, sneak in the side door, except not everybody lives in a house. Like, my parents live in a condo. My mother has already shouted up and down the building to all the building security who watch the social, by the way, that I am her daughter. So there is no way that I can go visit my parents, because first of all, there are cameras all over the building. And then second of all, even behind a mask, like, people have recognized us, as you guys have said on the show. So I can't get busted.